Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sunday. It ain't Sunday. I know it's Monday. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I finally made it in. I remembered my webcam and my microphone and all that stuff. Just rolled in from Dad's shop. We've uh, we've got Sir Rat back on the road to for its new upgrades. This year we're bouncing the ante up a little bit on her. What I did is I took my tunnel ram because see my dad's got an engine that's already set up for a tunnel ram, but we've been running a single 4 barrel on it. So he's been after me for a long time to get that tunnel ram from me to just try it out. So well, Father's Day and everything, and in the spirit of all that, and well, I wanted to get in and do something with Dad again. So I've spent pretty much the whole week, the whole past week, going over to there and setting that up for him. So I took my tunnel ram and my carburetors and everything over, and we got her all put on there, and I'll be dadgum, she runs. Dean Stevenson, what is going on, man? Great to see you. And Justin, I know it ain't Sunday. What the heck is going on? Yeah, when I rolled in on Sunday night, oh Lord, it was late, and well, I left all my stuff over to the shop. You can tell I've been working on it all day. There's a Ford firing order if you need anybody wants. 1542637 I always write them down on my hand like that because as I'm setting the distributor, putting all the wires on, I grab the cap like that, and well, I can look right down at the firing order as I'm putting the wires on. It makes it super simple. But anyway, yeah, it was late when I got home Sunday night, and well, oh Lord, I was beat. So, and I left all my stuff over there. My original plan was to live stream the whole thing from my dad's shop. Well, he had a power outage a little bit ago, and it knocked out his router extender in his shop. So I took all of this stuff over to his shop, got it all set up, got all ready to go. No internet. So I tried to get as much video as I possibly could. You guys have probably seen a whole bunch of shorts. I got a whole mess of video to edit up on the whole process of setting the tunnel ram on that big block Ford. But the best part of the day today was he took it for a test drive, and that was he put a couple of little black marks on the shop floor. And he come back with a smile about that big. I bring words of encouragement. See this later. Oh, sure, I'll check that out. Enjoy the weather. Holy cow, it got hot like that here in southeast Idaho. We've been barely making 60 degrees, and in fact, not last week, but the week before, we had a frost, of all things, hit us. And now it's like somebody threw on a light switch, and it got up. I think it broke 80 today. Whew. Hey, Philip, great to see you. Good thing I was in my dad's shop, though, because my shop, it's a freaking oven. It's painted dark gray. It's got no insulation in it. And yeah, when the sun beats on that shop old tin building of mine, it's just a pole barn shop is all it is. It gets brutal hot in there. It's a good 10-20 degrees hotter in my shop than it is outside. And yeah, at 80 degrees, I wouldn't have been too fun in there. Interrupting the hockey game? Well, I can't be. I know this dang fool Barrel's Garage, he jumps in on a Sunday. No, it's Monday. What day is it? Good to see you, Bruce. Thanks for the comments on those. Thanks a million, man. What is frost? I know, I'm done with that stuff. Good night. We're actually kind of sweating it a little bit because The river is running at full capacity. It is higher than it's been in a long time. And this real warm weather, we still got snow in the mountains just behind me. It's going to be a melting like a no tomorrow. In my younger years, when I still had my K5 72 K5 Blazer, this is a time when I'd jump up there in them hills. But I'm too old and well, I did wisen up a little bit after having to walk back out of them mountains a couple of times. Yeah, I'm done with that. Yep, and Cousin Mike come over and helped too. I helped a bunch. Cousin Mike, you watching? Thanks a million. Landon Custom Classics. Jason's Garage, what the heck is going on? Good to see you on this Sunday, Monday. The funky thing that's going on with it is we had to order a new distributor because in Dad's rat rod that I upgraded all this to, he was running a big cap HEI. It looks like a General Motors Chevy distributor cap on that big block Ford. And well, the tunnel ram, it takes up a whole lot of real estate up front and back. So we had to come up with well, what I did is I dug around and I found a 429, 460 distributor, but it was gutted. So I dug around through all my other Ford junk and we found a brand new set of points, but they're for an FE, not for a 385 series 429, 460. We got them to work in there, but we were fighting it all day yesterday. I knew it was ignition problems. And I could tell Dad knew too. What was going on is when we'd hook up the vacuum advance on it, because I was put those FE points in them, they're a little bit different. The points in the condenser. Well, the bracket on the condenser for an FE is a little bit bigger than a 385 series 429 points distributor. We found this out yesterday and today. So when I'd hook up the vacuum advance and the vacuum advance would kick, well, it would swing that advance plate over and it would pick up the plate just enough to knock the points out. So it would fire and it would fire on all 8. And then all of a sudden, it'd start missing. And I couldn't get any action on number 8 and number 4 cylinders. I was like, well, that's something. I knew it was ignition, and the first one that I had was the way we had to set the distributor in there. The back of the distributor, the spring clamps that come up and hold your cap on, was pressed in against the tunnel ram. When I got it advanced into time right, I was checking to see where I had to put number 1 so I'd get enough twist on the distributor. Well, I had it set to where I'd had to, let's see, on a Ford counterclockwise. Okay, I'd had to retard it just a little. No, advance it. I'd advancing it over. Chevys are backwards than Fords. Anyway, twist it in and it would pinch that hold down clamp for the distributor cap. And when it pinched it in, it released it. So it'd sit there and run good for a second or two. And then that cap would float up sideways, and then it would start missing and coughing and bucking, and I was like, oh, this just ain't right. So I finally got that dialed in, and we figured out where to set number 1, because you can't go off the cap. If you go off the cap, then yeah, the bad things happen because it's too tied in around a tunnel ram to get that to work in there. Boy, I just know how to make a long story longer. Anyway, got her set in there. I pulled number 1 and I moved it clear around. My number 1 is almost facing or my vacuum advance is almost facing the thermostat housing now to get it set in there so the distributor will fit in there. Anyway, got her all set up, and she wouldn't run because every time it would vacuum advance, then because I'm using the FE points and condenser in it, it would pop the points up out of contact, run like crap, blah, 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 blah. So we figured that out, and it dawned on me. I pull the vacuum advance and just plug it. As soon as I plugged it, boom, it lit up on all 8 cylinders and ran like a top. So the reason we was putting that distributor in, though, is because, well, we had to order another small cap distributor to fit in there, and it won't be here until possibly Thursday. And we got a show to do with that truck, so it could not be out of commission. So we cobbled together this and tried to make it work. Throughout this whole long drug out story I just told you, FE parts, distributor parts, don't work in a 385 big block Ford. So if you're wondering, just take it from me, they don't work. I get caught back up here now that I'm done rambling, bambling. It was 93 today until it rained at 2:30 when the roads had started steaming, and it was just made it hotter. Holy cow, yeah, and that humidity just pulls up off the ground. Oh, Lord. This poor little desert boy here would have just died on that. You would have seen me just melt into a puddle on the floor. What year? The 460 I put it on is out of a 79 or an 80 jet boat. So it's actually a 70 block. It runs all this because it's a Marine. It's actually a Berkeley Ford if you want to get right down to brass tack on what it is. But it came out of about that year of a jet boat. That's the block. The FE parts I was trying to make fit, well, I was using a 69 distributor, which is what you use, 68, 69, or a 70 points distributor because they're smaller, and I wasn't going to run the Durus part. And the points that I was using were 68 Mercury, 390. Everybody's seen that one. Yep, I robbed them out of the Mercury to make that sucker fire. And failed miserably. No, I take it back. She runs perfect without vacuum advance, just relying on the mechanical. But once we get the real distributor in, she'll run the way it's supposed to run. It has been raining every third for last 2 months. What a pain. Oh, son of a gun. You guys are getting dumped on over there, huh? Oh, we got Mr. John Wilburn in. Great to see you, man. I almost caught your live. I think I have been trying so hard to get unbusified on a Friday. I just cannot catch your Friday lives. I've been watching them on the rerun, though. Thanks for coming in, John. The humidity was so thick I could swim home. You drink your air. You don't breathe, you just drink. Every third day. The closest thing to working on any cars for me was buying some brake clean today. Yeah, brake clean. I should buy stock in O'Reilly's brake clean because, boy, I use a bunch of that stuff. I probably wouldn't have to use so much if I'd actually buy Berryman or, a regular brand name, but they run those deals all the time, and I just can't pass them up. I go always grab a couple of 4, 5, 6 cans of O'Reilly's brake clean. Content Creator Workshop this Sunday at 5 p.m. Central. This time with Lars. Sweet. I'll definitely catch that one. In fact, I'll hold my live. So if you want to, John, if you want to, extend it a little bit, by all means, extend it. Get as many questions and anything answered or helped for all of those No Name 500 guys, so they can get their 500. And like I said, Buff Del Campo, he made it yesterday. I did catch that live. That was so cool. And like I was telling him in the comment, hold that momentum, drop a gear, and just keep on shoving that content out and having fun doing it, and you'll break the 1,000 mark. No problem at all, John. Absolutely no problem at all. Like I said, if it runs a little over, let it run a little over, because I'm going to be in the chat there helping as much as I can, and just hanging out. Words of encouragement to first responder on his 10 for sunset to sunrise live. Oh, sweet. I really need to finish the brakes on the Pontiac. I have been putting it off for a year now. Hey, that's what that big old oak tree is in the front yard, right? Definite tree brakes. I doubt that. You're the best Kiwi I know. Yeah, but that was a really good week. I just spent it all with my dad, all the time that I could over there with dad for all week long. Like I said, I did my best to get as much video as I could. In fact, I got about 6 memory cards now. I got filled up. I got to go through and cut up and dice up and stick out there for all of you. I did do a whole bunch of little shorts, which was very uncommon for me. But yeah, I got a little bit of something in there. He tried to get me to take it for the test drive. Heck no, Dad. This is for you. Get out there. And she does. She runs now. The truck does run, but oh, it needs to polish now. Just dialed in, just perfect. I was really sweating it too with those tunnel rams, especially with those 2-inch spacers. But those 2-inch spacers are working perfectly with the AVS2 Edelbrock carburetors. I'm getting a clean burn in out of every pipe. And on Zoomies, that's easy to do. You don't need O2 sensors. You don't need a temp gauge. You know, a lot of people will use a thermal touchless thermometer to check to see if you got a dead cylinder. With Zoomies, you don't need none of that, because you can stick your hand right over each cylinder on the exhaust side and you feel exactly what's going on, and you check them for how heavy one is hitting or how light one is hitting, the temperature, you feel it on your hand. Probably causes cancer or something, but you know, I'll die with a smile on my face. The oak tree is for a small block Chevy. You know, I still haven't finished that engine stand. That's all right, Philip. Hey, we just have fun playing with this stuff. You know, if we ever finished a project, we'd run out of stuff to do, right? Or we'd have to tear back into the project and do something a little more to it. Auto Salvage Outlaws, hey, what's going on? Great to see you, man. I hope you're beating the heat down there in Alabama. Or as like I used to say when you called me on the phone, how about you, Alabama? Roll on. I think Randy Owens just turned over in his grave. I don't even know if he's dead yet. Actually, growing up, that was one of my favorite bands. Alabama. That album, Roll On, I'll tell you what, that crossed over so many genres. Every metalhead that I know that had hardcore heavy metal, like what they would call death metal now, like Slayer and Testament and, Iron Maiden. If you look through their music collection, they had a cassette tape of Roll On by Alabama. Yep. That album just it fit everybody. Me too, Philip. It works good that way, you run out of money for this one and you're waiting, well, next week, I can afford to buy whatever I need for it. So you just jump on over to something else that doesn't need money at the time. You just need a little labor on it. And then when the money comes, you just switch back over to that one. And then it's just a way to keep busy and just keep having fun. Everybody needs about 6 projects going at the same time, right? One of these days, one of them will actually make it out of the garage. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I know. I still got a collection of weed eaters and lawnmowers that need fixed. Yeah. Way cool, ASO. Way, way cool. And like any of my lives, like I said, I got the link posted up there. If anybody wants to climb on in, just hit that little button, pop right in. We'll just talk about anything and everything. Projects we've done, projects that we're looking at doing, projects we're thinking about. It's funny, when I started this whole project, I was just going to loan it to him. Well, he took it around the block and he come back and he said, you know what? I'll trade you my tunnel ram. See, I got a small block Chevy that's already got the cam in it. It's already got the flat top pistons in it. It's ready for a tunnel ram. He traded me his tunnel ram and his Muncie transmission for my big block Ford setup. So I said, okay, if you want to do that, I'll go ahead and do that. And then his tunnel ram is well, it's not much special for anybody else, but growing up, that was my nightstand. That's where my alarm clock set. I used it for a nightstand next to my bed when I was just a little itty bitty guy. So that tunnel ram, I'm very, very familiar with. And it's one of the first things that he bought as soon as he got home from Vietnam. When he got home, he bought a 55 Chevy and a 30 Bel Air, 2-door hardtop. It wasn't a post car, and a 32 Ford pickup. And then he took that 55 in, and he built that 55, and he bought that tunnel ram for it. And it was I would have to say the fastest car in this area back then. Anyway, it was kind of a 2-lane blacktop kind of a look, kind of a build. Loved that car. In fact, it was the very first car I ever drove. I was just a little bitty little guy sitting on Dad's lap, holding my hands on the steering wheel. He was actually driving, but that's my biggest memory is seeing them air cleaners up out of the hood on that 55 as he drove through town. And so I traded my big block Ford tunnel ram for that one and his Muncie. That's the 2 last parts that we have from that car. But 70 must have been 78, no, 77. there was a teenage kid in the wintertime, slick winter roads, doing donuts out on the street in a pickup truck, and he hit that 55, T-boned it in the driveway. Oh Lord, he bent that car in half, and that was the end of the 55. Absolutely totaled it. So Dad pulled the tunnel ram off of it and pulled the motor out of it and everything, and well, haven't done anything with it ever since, and it's just been sitting in the shop collecting dust. Always wanting to do something with it, so now it will live again. I just got to find something to put it in. And with that being said, I need to get some sleep. Oh, no problem there, Philip. Thanks for stopping in so that I can start something new tomorrow. You betcha. Start another project. Thanks for coming in, man. Whew. So with that, what's everybody else been working on, toiling with, piddling around with? It's been kind of an off, weird year here. We've been very, very busy all winter long and all spring. As far as working on the cars, I haven't had much time at all to dibble dabble into stuff. Hardcore, just that little stuff that, yeah, I probably should video, but I haven't been. God, I'm sorry about that, guys. I've been slacking. I'm just gonna say it. Usually I carry that camera around with me everywhere I go, and I've been slacking. And I got to get the mic jack fixed on this phone, where you speak into the mic on the phone. It's crazy. So when I do a short, I got to hold the phone just right, or yeah, the volume drops, or yeah, it does weird things. In fact, some of them shorts, I got about 6 or 7 takes on them, because one of them will have no volume, the other one will have all cracked up volume, and so I gotta, okay, do another one. Okay. What happened is I had it in my pocket and rolling around in the junkyard, and rolling around under cars and pickups and what got you, picking stuff up with it in your front pocket. Yeah, I've about killed another phone. Not too bad though. I got 3 years out of that one. Usually I go through about 3 of them a year. The wind in Idaho? Oh, on this side of Idaho, that's all it does is blow. We got to tell Montana to stop sucking. Yeah, this side of the state that me and Justin are on, we're right in the corridor. And the wind just, it either comes straight up from Utah, or it comes across from Oregon, follows the Snake River all the way across southern Idaho, and it hits the mountains right due east of us. And it takes a sharp 90 and boom, shoots straight up into Montana. The wind blows here all the time. And it's kind of funny, even with the wind that blows here all the time, them windmills they keep stiffing up everywhere, only half of them turn. What the heck? I don't know. It's probably some scientific thing that they actually shut them down or something. I don't know. It's just annoying to see those flashing red lights everywhere on our beautiful skyline. Oh, it really sucks when Utah sucks, because that's when we get those gale winds come straight down out of Montana, Alberta, and oh, good Lord, the north winds here in the wintertime, it just absolutely freeze you. That's why our temperatures were so low for so long. Good night. We kept getting them northern gales out of Canada right down through us. The hay farmers are sweating it a little bit because it's been so cold for so long. First cut taking a long time. Generally, by this time, the short cutters, the alfalfa cutters, they've already, the ones that don't bale, they just loose bale it. They cut it when it's only about yay long. They're almost mowing grass out there. But they're generally on their second cut. It was about last week they got their first cut on the little short stuff. I know, because where they go to weigh is actually right across the street from the shop. So I hear them all day long. They pull in to the weigh station right there. Well, it's actually a potato factory, and they got a scale out there, and they'll run through the scales. And just like FE points in a 385 Autolite distributor. Yep. How well does it work? Not worth a damn. Actually, it works really good until the vacuum advance pulls that plate over and shorts the distributor out. And then it goes clap. And then it dies down, loses vacuum, comes back, and boom, lights up again. All 8 fired just beautifully. I've got the real distributor on the way. It's just I wasn't sure if it was going to be here in time to make it for the show. So you gotta try, right? You know it's wrong, but you gotta try it anyway. And when you hold them up, they look identical. The cap is the same. I searched parts numbers on it and everything. I'll be dadgum. The cap is exactly the same part number. Condenser ain't. I found that out. Dim 72 Demon, what's going on? Great to see you tonight. On my unusual Monday night. Yeah, Sunday I rolled in here about, it was about 8:30, almost 9 o'clock when I rolled in here. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway, because I had all my live set up at the shop. And Dad's shop, for some weird reason, didn't have internet. That his router extender, it's one of those ones you plug in, and then you plug the other end into your router, and it uses the electricity lines to run your internet. Generally speaking, it runs really, really good, but we had that power outage, and now boom, it popped the one in the shop. So you got nothing out there. I was all excited. I was like, cool, I'll do total live stream. I was going to let you guys see live how I film my videos, everything. It was all planned out in my head, and then boom, fate. Murphy just threw a big old monkey wrench into that, and well, okay. Hot out here today, 97. Not usually like this in Colorado. Yeah, all of a sudden, like I was telling the guys here earlier, here in Southeast Idaho too, it was like they threw a light switch on. We struggled to make it over 60. Then all of a sudden, holy cow, it hit straight up into the 80s. Mrs. One-Eyed Cat, what's going on, Wendy? Good to see you. You got Donna rolling around out there somewhere, or is he stuck under a Valiant? Good to see you. Say hi to Dawn for me. And Wrong. Yeah, while I was out here doing this in southeast Idaho, my wife was over on the other side of the state, and her and a bunch of girlfriends decided to go camping. Whew, she said it was blistering hot over there. She's over by the Boise side. It got toasty warm on that side of the state. Of course, Boise always is. He's in bed. I'll be dadgum. I hope he's feeling okay. Of course, well, it's Monday, and I don't know what time it is. I guess it's 8 o'clock here. Yeah, I guess it's getting a little late over there, and on that side of the country there. I'm not used to this. It's good Lord, 8:30 here, almost 8:30 here, and it's still bright and sunny out there. It's been gloomy here for quite a while. And all it is, you can tell I've been working on a Ford. There's Ford firing order. Just makes it so much easier to write it on your hand like that, because as you're holding on to the distributor, you're looking right at the firing order. My daughter come in two in men's demo dirt. Oh, coming second in the men's demo derby. Oh, sweet. Older granddaughter came in first in the powder puff, and the younger granddaughter came first in electric power wheels. Oh, sweet. You had a good old time. Yep. 15426 378. That's the good one. Because there's another one we don't like to talk about. And if it's a 302 and it doesn't have that firing order, yeah, it takes a different distributor too. It's about that much longer. The SO. Everybody talks about the HO, but everybody forgets about the SO. But holy cow, I've seen a lot of SOs sold as HOs, because all it is two little bolts on that nice shiny little cover plate that says HO, and it'll swap right on plenum. If you don't know which side the air intake is supposed to come off of, yeah, a lot of HO 302 Fords. Yeah, they were sold, their SOs sold as HOs. That's the one with the different firing order. They're a little lower horsepower. The standard output is what SO stand for. If I think about it here long enough, I'll remember which side the intake comes off, the air comes off of. It's fuel injection stuff, so I kind of block it out. I try to hit the delete button as many times as I can when I start to think of it. I used to know all of them in my head. Too much crap fried my brain. when it comes to numbers, I got to write them down because, yeah, I forget. I'll mix them up. I'm almost like numbers dyslexic, I guess you could say. So I take the time to write them down because I'll forget or I'll mismatch. Obviously. It's funny too, because every time that I come in back in the house from the shop and I've got that either this firing order or whatever firing order written on my hand, wife says, "Oh, you're working on timing again, huh?" 98, the last week, we shut the store down for 2 days. The AC broke. Oh, but at least I get paid for it because it was not my problem. Oh, cool. They paid you for the shutdown? That's cool of them. And Don has to work early in the morning. Well, when he gets up and he's had his cup of coffee, tell him Barrow's Garage says, hello. You hear what happened to Chris' truck? I haven't. To Chris. Chris's truck? I know a whole lot of Chris's. You got to elaborate a little bit. You got my brain thinking. I haven't. Going through all the YouTube guys named Chris and tell you the truth too, I know most of you guys all by your channel name. Because if the first names, last names, even they cross over so much that which John is that? BRG. Okay. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched a whole lot of YouTube lately. I've been asses and elbows, A&E time. I haven't had much time to. Oh Lord, I'm behind in my comments again and everything. I have to watch his video. I will do. Now we got that sucker to fire. Yeah, and took it for a first test drive. Yeah, now it slows down and mellows out a little bit. we found a funny way to check that distributor too, but I'm gonna leave that to cousin Mike. He figured it out. Well, he did it. And if he wants to do a video on it or let you guys in on how to check for a vacuum advance, yeah, check to see if your vacuum advance is popping up your points and shorting them out. You got to go watch his videos and wait for him to admit how he was able to. He had me laughing so hard I hurt myself. I saw that, but didn't watch it yet. I've seen it. I get the notices on my phone, but I can't watch anything on the phone. It's too small of a screen. And if I do watch it, well, I can't leave a comment because the screen's all cracked. So if I touch here, it recognizes it over here. And now, yeah, I say all kinds of fun words when I'm trying to do stuff on my phone. And then I give up, wait till I come to the house, and I sit down in the office here and I type it out on the computer where I can actually see it. And these keys know what the fingers do. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun this week. Any of you out there that can spend time with your dad, I can't recommend it enough. Doing something that your dad liked to do, or if you've got kids or grandkids and you can be that figure, jump into that role. Or just maybe neighbor kids that need a good solid role model. any way that, you know, we don't have to actually be fathers to be fathers. That's, I can't recommend. Just get out there and turn a wrench with somebody, and just, yeah, you know, even people that are just about the same age, you know, you can just have this much kind of fun with anybody. I can't recommend doing it enough. It's been. Oh, I think I blacked out there a little bit. The screen went black. Mr. Lars, what the heck is going on? Good to see you. I can't wait to see you on Sunday. You're going to be doing a live with John Wilburn, Creators Workshop. Good to hear, man. I'll be in the chat there with you guys. Hey, reach over there and give JB a poke for me. That's right. They only here for a little while tomorrow. Not promised. Yep. And the reason I wanted to live the whole thing is because I miss so much, you know, little tidbits. Like he was telling me how he sets points. You know, it goes by the book and tells you this. Well, we live at extremely high altitude and in the frozen tundra. Well, it's not that bad, but he already knows where to set the points, you know, the gap in the points, and how to adjust the gap in the spark plugs. And it's just right off the top of his head. Little tidbits, you know, that's not in a book, and especially in the days before the internet, I take it for granted. It's just stuff that, you know, I've logged in there somewhere, and most of it's rusty and dusty that when it pops back into my memory, I sneeze. It's so dusty. But just little nuggets like that, you know, it aggravates me that ether cable would not plug in and I could not get internet out there. JB is hiding. Mohawk 62, great to see you. Just stopping in and say hello. I need to get to bed. Have a good night, everyone. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. You sleep well, my friend. Yeah, I've been thinking about that ever since I started the channel, because that's kind of what I started the channel for, is to preserve a lot of this stuff that I've learned from my dad, and to pass a lot of it off to you guys. And oh man, I just, little blurps that he'll say like that, and it just, if I don't have the camera running, it's gone. Thanks, Mr. Lars. Oh, that's a fun one. And now that she's got 2 carburetors sitting up there, oh Lord, it just, oh God, it just brought back so many good memories. And I love the fact that we put that big steering wheel in it. It's actually a Mopar steering wheel that's in it. It's out of a motorhome, but it was a Mopar motorhome. It just sucks me right back to the early 70s. Just, except for this time, I'm not sitting on his lap. Like I'm steering as I'm going along the road. You can see them air cleaners up there out of the hood. Oh God, that set me right back to the good old days. Thanks, ASO. Of all the builds we've done, that one, I would have to say that's my favorite one. It's not the fastest one we've done. The Volkswagen is the fastest one. That little sucker, you got to be careful with. You look down and whoa, you're flying. But that one was the funnest. That one challenged us. That twin I-beam, yeah, that was fun. And that's what it was about. It was pushing ourselves over the limit. Fun build. Yep, good night there, Mohawk. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. Unlike Mohawk, I'm in bed. That's the best thing about these new TVs that got internet on them. Yeah, I can sit there and watch YouTube when I go to sleep. And I have been guilty of doing that a few times, putting people to sleep. Thunderbird is leaving in a few months. Uh-oh. Oh, well, the ones that go down the road are the ones that fund the ones that come into the driveway. You got to look at it that way, I guess. Good to see you tonight, Tim. Thanks for stopping in. Got to check the salmon on the grill. Oh, good night. That's good stuff. But I like it well done. I like salmon and trout, very well done. I don't. You buy it at the restaurant or order it at any restaurants, and they always serve it medium rare or even close to rare. I just never did like that. The texture reminds me of the fish we used to pull out of the Snake River sometimes, and not get them quite cooked all the way, on a campfire when you're just rolling around out and whatever out on the river bottoms. Some of those Boy Scout campouts we did. Holy cow, we do the survival ones where you just take a sleeping bag and you make your own shelter and you got to fish for your own food. Yeah. Trying to cook on river doties. Yeah. Burnt fish on one side and raw on the other, and you're hungry, so you eat it anyway. I think that's what's always logged in my brain when I order a piece of salmon from a restaurant. It's not quite done yet, and it just, I can't take that texture. Of all the merit badges and stuff I got in Boy Scouts, I was most proud of my year-round camping one. Camping in Idaho, and we took it to the extreme. We did a survival camp out like that, where you just take a sleeping bag. We stayed out for 3 days. In the 1st of February, it was freezing. We froze our butts off. And of course, we're stupid. We did it right next to the river where, it's cold anyway. So we survived, though. Learned a lot. That was back when the Boy Scouts were the Boy Scouts. I mean, we really learned a lot of good stuff. Johnny Carson, the great. I remember reading a story, or I heard it. It was an interview or something. It was Johnny Carson's last day on the Tonight Show. And as he was walking out into the parking garage, he had a brand new Corvette I don't know if it was new, but it was a Corvette that he was getting into to drive away. And he turned it over and it wouldn't start. And Jay Leno was, had just taken his spot, and he was full time taking over his spot. And he was on stage, on the show. And one of the security guards or something coming walking by Johnny said, Jay could get that to work, start for you. And Johnny Carson looked at him and said, well, let's see how good he does tonight with the show. I just always thought that was kind of funny. I watched Johnny Carson almost religiously. And then right after Johnny Carson was over with, the Barney Miller show would come on. They were reruns, of course, back in the early 80s. I used to watch Johnny Carson, and when it got over with, I'd sneak and stay up and watch a Barney Miller show. No problem, ASO. Fish needs to be cooked just right for me. Me too. Like I said, it's just that texture thing. I bite into trout or salmon, anything from that family, and it's got that little bit of undone texture to it. Yeah, just my brain says it's burnt on one side and raw on the other. I was once a Weeblo, but not long enough to even have a uniform. Just before the Boy Scouts, yep, the rank just before. When you cross over from a Cub Scout to a Weeblo. Here, though, out in the country, I mean, everybody was doing it. So if you weren't doing it, you had nothing to do. But I had a lot of fun in the Boy Scouts. I never took the merit badge and the ranking system very seriously. It was just having fun. I made it all the way to life. I was a few hours short on my community service for my Eagle Scout. Should have went all the way with the Eagle Scout now. But I was close. I was real close. For one of our community service ones is we actually painted the sign for my hometown. Because it was such a small town. The county didn't even put up a now entering, There's a little town of Basalt, Idaho. There's not even a population sign out there, like, state issued official one. No, it's just there's a post office and a church there. That's all that's there. I think there's about 140, 150 people that live there. Everybody that lives there, they go to school in Firth. And now I live halfway between my hometown and the town of Firth. And it's only a mile from Basalt to Firth, so I'm about half a mile either way. Grew up in western Pennsylvania. It's all woods and farms. So we slept out in the woods all the time, sleeping bags and backpacks full of snacks. My second wife, she was from Western Pennsylvania, little town at Slippery Rock, right by Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And they did the same thing. Her kids, everybody. Beautiful country down in that little neck of the area in Pennsylvania. Of course, every state's got its good spots. Every state's got its bad spots. For me in Idaho, oh, I would have to say Boise just because it's too many people. Never did like Boise. Just, I don't fit into a city. Even though I spent, oh Lord, 12 years in there. I have to sleep with one eye open tonight. Bad weather from Minnesota, Wisconsin on the way over the big lake towards me. Oh, good Lord. Hope it just blows right on by you. Yeah, I know a lot of good people from Pennsylvania. Don and Wendy, the Englishes, Mr. Buck does it. Heck, for that matter, even my ex-wife, she wasn't that bad. We separated on good terms. We're still friends. We just haven't seen each other in 30 years. Well, probably not that long, but a good while. North of Pittsburgh, about 45 miles from the Allegheny River. Small town of Kittening, huh? Yeah, I've never heard of that town. A lot of gamers from Pennsylvania. Well, with that, we've been on for about an hour now. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Everybody, make sure you check out John Wilburn's channel on this coming Sunday. He's got the Creators Workshop going up and going for another round of good, solid advice to help all of us, yeah, figure this YouTube stuff out and not only get your subscribers, but if you keep rolling with it, you could actually have a lot of fun and possibly make a little jingle doing this YouTube stuff. And anything we can do to help y'all, this community will come together and help every single buddy out there. And that's just the great thing about this community. But until then, I'll definitely see you guys all there. Check them out. Check out all the channels. Everybody in the chat, thanks a million for coming out on this wild and crazy Sunday pickup live on a Monday. And we'll catch you all again. I'll fire my live as soon as John's Creator Workshop is over with, because, well, I'm going to be in the chat with y'all on that workshop. So after his closes, we'll go ahead and fire this one up, and we'll have some fun. Okay, so next, and there goes my voice again. I've been fighting it all day. Until next week, thanks for coming in, everybody, and get out there and get some metal hot. Well, I'll get these old girls back on the road where they belong, or at least have some fun trying. And FE points and condenser, even though they look identical to a 385, 429, 460, they're not the same. Don't try that. I made the mistake yesterday. It doesn't work. Good to see y'all. We'll see y'all next week.